All right, welcome to the VNL Video Newsletter, a Clemic Performance Method at the studio here at the 2511 Fire Road. Main thing, as we say every week, call in to get yourself signed up for the summer. Times are 8:30, 9:45, 11:30 every day, and then 5 and 6:15 every day during the week. We're going to change the time to 8:30 on Saturdays. That's going to start the week of June 17th. So
there'll be announcements
Saturday.
for that too.
Yeah. We have a new email system. If you guys have seen that, it's a much more elaborate one. It's a MailChimp one where you'll see, like, our newsletter will come out. We're going to do the written newsletter. Please read those articles. We have opinion pieces there on the Antiques Muscle Runner. Josh did conditioning. Cruz did the Bible study and some of his opinion on what he's seen as far as evidence-based training that he's seen in person.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. And then, our Athlete of the Week. You can read the articles about our Athlete of the Week. So we'll write those. Whether you read them or not, we'll know when you come in.
Yeah.
We'll quiz you on the stuff. So those are the main important announcements. What, Josh, do you have any announcements here?
No, just get in for summer sessions. They're filling up fast. Yeah. Tim, fast. Coach Watson.
Oh, yeah, Coach Watson, too. So there'll be a few more details about the actual, like, naming and everything like that, but his business is the mental preparation side of training, which is a huge one. Very big. And he is brilliant. Yeah. And the message that he has, that he brings, I just heard a snippet of it on one of our shows, and I've already used it in a speech that I made. Yeah. I'm so moved by it. I'm telling you, we are going to get a huge edge because we're using him as a consultant on our own practices to make sure that you all have better intent on your practice, which isn't even practice. We're practicing how to practice. Yeah. So best to have intent right there. You better have intent when you go to your real practice. Yeah. Or you go to your real game or whatever. So he worked with Mainland and made them. I mean, it's a big reason why at Cedar Creek and at Mainland why they've won state championships the way they have. And word on the street is he's about to start working with a couple other teams too. Yeah. And that's a huge advantage. And the man that says the words matters. Oh, yeah. When he speaks, you listen. Everybody listens. He's got power behind his words. Kind of like Tony Robbins. Like if somebody else said it, I don't know if it would hit like the way he does. When Tim talks, he doesn't waste words. Yeah. They hit powerfully, and it's amazing. So he's a big dude, played in the NFL, drafted in the 5th round, 10 picks before Tom Brady. I'm proud to say that we're working together. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm pumped about that. So after that, let's get into the Who Dat Athlete of the Week. Let's get into it. Who Dat? Our Who Dat Athlete of the Week. Again, Ella Miller. She came back in at the end of a track season and just did something no one should be doing right now. And if you saw her, you wouldn't think it.
Yeah. Well, I wish I was there. I wasn't even there. I think you set me up for that. But she ran 1:66 in the 10, which is unbelievable. That's the fastest girl's time we've ever had, especially on this system, which is flawless with no error. It is a professional timing system that the Patriots use, that the Boston Celtics use, that a lot of teams up in the Northeast use. So 1:66 is unbelievable.
There's coming off of Penn State that aren't going to hit that. Don't hit that right now.
Yeah, and she was just a part of that 4x1 100-meter team that just won. Did they win the Cal, right?
Yeah,
and they set a school record. Yeah, and Ella's only 14 years old. Has so much more room to grow if she wants to, and came in at 31.5 on the vertical leap, which insane. I think she may be the first girl to touch 35.
I think we can get her there.
If we can get her to 35, that's like national news, especially in high school. So
the word on the street is she's having a very serious summer.
Okay.
We're getting her like 4 times a week.
Okay.
And she's going to get real serious about it. I think possibly her dad loves us, you know what I mean, but like was kind of like, I don't know if he was like a skeptical or whatever. I don't. But now it's absolutely, the numbers are there. Yeah. The numbers are there. This girl has world-class talent. Has some biomechanic things to do.
Yeah, some little things. Yep.
But she is a phenomenal athlete, and we're 100%. Giving her the athlete of the because breaking records in here, it's hard to do. You have a lot of people and a lot of history, 20 years of history that's been broken, and she's doing it easily before she's even in her sophomore year.
It's amazing.
Ella, congratulations. You are Who Dat Athlete of the Week. Yep. We'll get into the inside the 4 walls right after this.
During the play testing, has its limits, and I think the Tracer, and gets me excited, that if we can hook them up to a Tracer, we can have true objective data even better than what we're doing now. And that's why they've returned to play testing. It's still evolving, it's progressing, it needs to continue to evolve because we're not perfect at it. But something like the Tracer, that's kind of game changing for me.
All right, so inside the four walls, we're going to talk about what we did this week in training, and I'm going to leave that up to Josh. He wrote our workouts this week. He programmed everything, and we saw some big number increases and stuff like that. But why don't you get into that for us?
Yeah, so inside the four walls this week, we've been progressively taking our self out. So we started with 10s, and then we got to 10 to 15, and then 15 to 20, and then 20 to 25, and now we're working our way back down. And what that does is it just changes the stimulus. It changes the focus for the kids. Like, starting is great when you're focused on that, but trying to put the start together, then run the 10 to 15. We're trying to improve the whole run, not just the beginning part, because you can lean yourself out of a 10-yard dash and then basically skip a gear or miss a gear after that, and then go into top speed, and then a big part of your run in that 40 is completely gone because you're just out of position. You have bad posture. So we like to work the transition of each gear. We like to go 0 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. So now we're working our way back down to 0 to 10, and that's been the main focus on the field. We've done an isolation, which I think is pretty cool. I love the isolation stuff because we can get really creative. Just a lot of high neurological drive drills. A lot of things that good athletes make look easy. Whenever you have a great athlete and they make a drill look easy, well, what do we got to do? We got to make every other athlete make that drill look easy too, because then we know that we're building the physical qualities that elite athlete has. This week too, we've also hurdles. Huge. We've done a lot of hurdle work this week. Hurdles are one of my favorite things because, again, good athletes make them look easy. They build so much reactive strength. They build so much in your posture. They build so much in your lower leg. It's hard to beat them. I was talking to the kids yesterday. I was like, how do you recreate the forces that you see in sprinting? Well, you really can't. I think the closest thing you can do it is to do hurdles and variations of hurdles. And that's what we've been doing, just to work on that reactive ability, keeping the posture, keeping the hips tall, keeping the body tall, and then building that lower leg to just create that bounce right over all of them.
Yeah.
So
I've seen many times, and I ran track and was a hurdler, state champion hurdler in high school, but I've seen people go, and we'll use Devin Al as an example from the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He went from being about a 10.4 to 10.5 100-meter runner to going and training solely in the hurdles for a while. So all of those exercises, which he would have probably stayed about a 10.4, 10.5, he's a 10.1 100-meter runner now because of the drilling that happens.
And that bounce,
the bounce,
and the
elasticity,
hips,
and the cycling of the hips, and the looseness of the labrum, and where the femoral head touches in that labrum of the hip, and all the fascia and muscle that surround it is nice and loose.
And I want to jump in right here too, because not only that, first off, like, that drilling is phenomenal, but we also are going to start to work into, and I'm hoping that we can, we do it in isolation a lot, but work into single leg drilling, because we don't work 2 feet on the ground as athletes. We're single leg foot on the ground. I feel like that gets lost so often. Like with traditional training, we do a lot of plyometrics, and we do a lot of double leg stuff. Like, we're primarily 2 leg drilling, but we do a lot of sprints, we do a lot of top speed, we do a lot of bounds, we do a lot of single leg stuff, and we're going to bring those over. We're going to bring the hurdles and build the kids up to working single leg hurdle drills, especially the high school kids, so that they can get very good balance and very good or very strong in that single leg and create the elasticity, because elasticity work on a single leg is completely different than double leg. And if you can get strong and be elastic on a single leg over hurdles, doing bounds and just different jumps, you're going to be on the field flying, or on the track flying, or on the court just absolutely flying.
Yeah, we've had these hurdles for 3 years and really haven't used them, because every time we do it, we pop a top of a hurdle off that costs about $115. Yeah. So I was sick of replacing them. So I was like, let's put some elastic tops on it, and we padded it, and it's like turnbuckles on it. It's very elastic, it's very safe, and it pops right back into place every single time.
If somebody misses.
So, and it's already paid its dividends. We spent a couple hours putting them together the other day, and it was the most worth it thing ever. Now we got the hurdles back.
Yeah.
So big, huge thing for our facility. It's a big addition, and we're excited to have them. So next we're going to go to outside the four walls. That means what's going on with our athletes outside of here.
And to play testing has its limits, and I think the Tracer, and gets me excited, that if we can hook them up to a Tracer, we can have true objective data even better than what we're doing now. And that's why they've returned to play testing. It's still evolving, it's progressing, it needs to continue to evolve because we're not perfect at it. But something like the Tracer, that's kind of game changing for me.
All right, so what's going on outside the four walls of this place? We're going to be seeing some of our college kids go to school. David Washington heading off to University of Kentucky. Super proud of him. He's worked his butt off for 2 years. 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's been
full
2 years.
And I mean, he's really worked himself into being. I'm gonna say it. He's gonna be a pro.
Yeah, he's a pro.
I've seen everything I needed to see, and he just has to prove it at the next level. But I think it's gonna be just fun proving that he belongs at the next level.
Yeah, he's for sure. His route running is as good as it's going to be for a guy that's in high school at 6'2", 6'1", 200 pounds. It's unbelievable how well he moves in and out of cuts. He's very reactive off the ground, which is what you want to see. He's not stiff at all. He can go up, he can get a jump ball. His hands are very strong. And that's what you want to see in a wide receiver going in the SEC. So I think he's going to have a ton of success.
He's got the best hands I've ever seen from an athlete, as a high school athlete, which gives him a ton of range. We call it like catch radius. He can jump right out of the gym. It'd give you about 38 inches. He's got a little tendonitis right now. But he's our fastest athlete at top speed right now. He'll come in over 23 miles per hour.
At 200 pounds.
At 200 pounds.
Yeah.
He's got the durability, the body to do it, and pretty much the all of the intangibles, too, with the hard work and the character and everything, that stuff that is required for the third level.
Yeah, and same thing with his teammate, Shamir, who's going to Townsend this year, going to play corner there. He's same guy, like 2 years of training with us, and it's not been easy training. It's been 2 hours. It's been late into the night training with us for 2 years now. They were coming in at the barn when it was cold outside running 10s, and they would stay into a whole extra hour of extra work on top of that. So shout out to Sham, too. He's another kid that has... I think that he's going to bloom in college. You know what I mean? Just due to the way he's built. He's so long. He's so rangy. Once he starts to really build that, because I think he's going to hit a lake kind of like Shaq did.
Yeah.
Like Shaq hit that peak athleticism. He hit that peak athleticism after high school. So I think that the same thing's going to happen to Sham, and he's going to have a great time at Townsend. Yeah,
I was the same way. And Sham, he's, you know why? I know he's going to have a better in college, because he's who I don't want to play against. He's a guy that I would hate to line up with. Yeah. His arms hang down real far and he gets in a stance he just can put a tentacle on you.
Yeah,
I hated those guys. Yeah, because they could slow you down. You try to block them and they can just shed you off with their long arms. Yeah,
they just have such long arms.
He hits high speeds. And he's got that kind of just
glide,
don't care attitude. You could see he won't get shook by a bad play.
No,
very smart, very smooth. So kind of guy I don't want to play against.
We also had
Trey.
Trey's heading back. Yeah,
Trey. I mean, thanks even for showing up.
Yeah.
I mean, even I know he's got a lot of work to do. He's a very, very hard worker. He's a wrestler mentality.
Yeah.
But he's a kid that can jump 40 inches of vertical. I think he holds a school record at
St. Francis.
St. Francis, and we knew he would do that. And he put on some weight. Looks good right now. Looks like phenomenal. Like he could put the hit on somebody.
Yeah.
Too.
Now he's going to put it together and put that. I know he's going to work really hard to build that speed.
Hopefully, make him. He'll become a starter this year.
Yeah, 100%. And then you got Shamir's older brother Shaq, who also holds the school record for the vertical leap at Sacred Heart right now. He's highest on the team.
Yeah,
and he's heading back.
We just saw him at 40 inches right over here. Gives us another. I think that puts us up to 11 guys over 40 inches right now.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
That was 11.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm lying. 7.
I don't know. It's hard.
7 or 11. But anyway, that's our video newsletter.
Oh, and shout out Matt Mutes for winning the cow.
Oh, Matt. Yeah. Matt with the javelin.
Yeah.
And hit a nice throw.
Yeah.
Too. So Matt Mutes, congrats. We could do this all day long.
Yeah.
We got tons of congrats, but we got to go.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you next time.